Good morning, Facebook peeps. Today is day 54 of 90 of the Team Heart Live Facebook Challenge. And I just want to talk about being caught in your own story. This is the ending of July. It also happens to be the birthday month, which was also the passing month of a very dear friend and mentor. And I pretty much have spent this whole month kind of with all of our conversations hovering in the back of my head this month and thinking about him and missing him. And this was one of the conversations we used to have all the time is, are you caught in your own story? And he was fabulous at helping people break through their story and be a agent for change. He was an agent for change. So I want to talk about being caught in your story. We all have a story, every one of us. We have an origin point, and everything after that creates our story. The thing is, we get wrapped up and caught in that story. And the next thing you know, the story becomes our life instead of us living life and the story just being the story. So here's the thing. You know, some people have horrific childhoods. I get it. I understand. And, you know, and it shapes who you are as a person. But, you know, that doesn't have to be the end of your story. Hi, Teresa. And, you know, some people have had, you know, major accidents. Some people have had major illnesses. Some people have had more surgeries than I can count on both of my hands, you know, by the time they're 30. You know, we all come from different backgrounds. We've all had different life experiences, and those things shape who we are, but they are not who we are. And sometimes we get so caught up in our story that we lose track of the fact that that's just our story. It's a sum total of our experiences. It's not who we are as a person. And, you know, I listened to a talk with Oprah Winfrey on one of her Super Soul Sundays, and I'm really sorry I don't remember who the person was who was speaking, but they were talking about we are not the sum total of our worst behavior. So think about that for a second. The worst thing you've done in the world, the worst action you've ever taken, the worst thing you've ever said, that is not the sum total of who you are as a person. And you don't deserve to have your entire life judged by that one moment, because it was a moment. It's not who you are. And it goes the other way too. We are not the sum total of the greatest achievement we've made to date. You know, for some people, it's being a football star in high school, right? And you always hear about, you know, the athletes that are reliving the glory days. It's because they're caught in their story, and they think that that moment is the only big moment they can have in their life. They get wrapped up in it, and they don't believe that they're more than that moment. But we are. So, you know, I've got friends that believe, I mean, really, truly in their heart believe that the world is against them and that they can never get ahead. They can never get better. They can never have a better life. No matter what they do, they keep banging their head into the wall and nothing changes. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that what you're putting out is what you're going to get back. And they're putting all that out and they keep getting it back. But you know what? That's not the sum total of who they are. It's not. And they could have a better life. They could change things. And I don't know, this man that impacted my life so much, you know, we used to talk for hours and hours and hours about every subject under the sun. And He always challenged my thinking. He always made me look at things from a different perspective. And, some people, some people didn't like who he was and felt hurt by him or betrayed by him. And other people, thought he walked on water. And I saw him for who he was, faults and all. And it was the faults that actually made me love him for who he was, because I could see them clearly. And I didn't put him on a pedestal. I saw the good, the bad, the ugly, and loved him anyway. And sometimes we need to do that for each other. We need to be, with people who allow us to make mistakes, to fall down, to get hurt, to, bump our knees and our elbows and learn how to stand back up. And we need people who are also there to cheer us on and to keep us moving in the right direction and to make us be better people. But don't get caught in your story. Don't let your story define who you are. You are more than your story. You're more than your history. I have a story, I have a history, and I get caught in it sometimes, I could define my life by some of the things from my past, but I'm not going to do that. I don't choose to do that. And it's a personal choice, but it's a choice that you make every day, because those stories, those lines from past situations come back up, and then you find yourself falling into a rut of behavior, and you have to make the decision to stop it. You have to make the decision to do something different if you want something different. So, I could say that because I'm Hispanic, that it's in my history to have diabetes. It's in my history to be, overweight. I feel like Hispanics are either skinny as a reed or they're overweight. Like, I could define that and I could use it as an excuse for my life moving forward, but that doesn't have to be my story. And I don't have to live that story. I'm the author of my own life, and I get to create the story myself, but I don't have to live in it. I can change it anytime I want, and I don't need to be caught up in what everybody else thinks is my story. And that's my last little tip for today, is don't define people by their story. Don't. Listen to them, love them as they are in the moment that they are in, because everyone has their moments, but be open-minded, be open-hearted, and allow yourself to embrace people as they are and to not judge them for the worst thing they've ever done or the greatest thing they've ever done, because we are all learning, growing, and experiencing life. So that's my thing for you today. Be careful of being caught in your own story. I love you all, and I hope you have a fantastic day today.